Yo, what's going on, fellas? Want to go ahead and dive right into a offensive gameplay of me running U-trips. And U-trips, for those of you that aren't familiar with the formation, it is one of the best pure passing offenses that is in the entire game. Now, basically, you'll see that I will run almost one play up and down the field here. And this is definitely an offense that is read based. It's a little bit harder to run than your normal offenses, where you have one setup, you got one primary read you're looking to hit. You basically, with this offense, you're taking advantage of the user, right? You're flooding zones, you're doing all that normal stuff. But what you're really doing is you're putting the user in a predicament to where they just can't guard everything. You've got a bunch of underneath routes. You've got routes attacking the sideline, routes attacking over the middle of the field. You're able to attack the flats to both sides. And no matter what they're in, man or zone, they're pretty much going to have no shot at defending this. Now, the formation is actually called, if you actually are in the playbook, it's like Y off trips Pats. But for those of you that have been around for a couple years, you'll know that this formation is called U trips. I mean, it's been a guide that we broke down, I think Madden 11, 12, 13, one of those we've broken down on the website. This was an offense that I ran, and Lights actually ran it into the Final Four of an MCS tournament, where he actually matched up against Stiff. So, like, we're going way back in the day in terms of, like, how good this offense has been and has always been pretty good. And then for those of you that are familiar with just the, last couple of years comp scene, this is a formation that D. Croft has just essentially claimed and dominated with. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. You'll see that I'm essentially running Y option wheel pretty much up and down the field right now. And you see my opponent has no shot at really getting a stop here. His real only hope is forcing me into like a bad read. He's calling, cover 4 drops, cover 3 cloud. Like, he's trying to mix up his coverage shells enough to confuse me. And even somebody that doesn't have a ton of reps with this offense yet, you can see it's the spacing in this formation is just phenomenal. Here you're actually going to see me throw a nice little flood over the middle of the field, put my opponent's user in a predicament to where do they guard the slant, the post, do they guard the backside post? Essentially, my opponent's user is just running in a circle, and Madden rewards him, right? I mean, he does get a strip fumble. This is partially my fault. I was not playing on conservative, and he's going to return this for a touchdown. So he's going to go up 14-0, and that's pretty much pretty comical. You see, like, his little thing at the top says "try harder." It's pretty hysterical to me because with us playing this, he's running tight, which you guys don't see too many of reps from his standpoint. But he's running gun tight, and then once I bag that up, he switches over to a gun spread and gun bunch. The gun spread version is using the RPO glitch, which is just kind of comical that his thing says "try harder," and he's literally trying his damnedest to find a way to stop something. Now, this right here was pretty much my only bad read, and it was only bad because I threw it a bit early. That's the dual corner concept that is very popular. I threw it a bit too soon. I didn't allow the defensive back to be ran off by the tight end in his deep corner. But that was the only bad read you'll see me make this entire game. And like I said, this is something that I'm not really all that great in this offense yet. Like, this is still the very beginning basics of me running this scheme. And as you'll see, like, even with me not having all the reps in the world with this, it's extremely easy to do, right? I've essentially ran Y option wheel every single play. Here, I'm going to actually run a different play, which is designed to attack the sidelines in the end zone, which, as you'll see, we will do a great job against that. We'll just catch that, get in the end zone, pick up the 7 points. Here we are on defense. And, yeah, this is just him running tight, me making the adjustment to him blindly chucking at me. And, yeah, we go ahead and get that one into the end zone again, right? So 14 all. He ends up driving down, kicking a field goal before half. And, yeah, so we get the ball coming out of half. He's up 3. We kind of got screwed on a one stop that he did get. And here you see back to just, the dot show really. Like we're throwing flats to both sides. We're throwing slants and post and corners. This formation has everything you need. It really does. And that's why when people ask me, like, hey, what is the best formation in Madden? Like, what is the hardest offense to stop? This is it. I 100% believe that U-Trips is the hardest to stop for a couple different reasons. One, you have that really good post route. You have the wheel route coming out of the backfield. You have an easy way to bomb cover two. The motion slants to the both sides of the field essentially are just very easy, very good to do. And then the thing that really goes into play with this more so than anything else, I think, is the fact that nobody has real reps against it. Like for as good as the offense is, you don't have a ton of people that run it because it is kind of difficult in the sense of it's not really plug and play. Like you have to get reps with it to be truly elite with this offense, and I think that deters a lot of people from actually running it, especially early on in the year when everybody is in a time crunch trying to grind for the MCS. You don't have time to really grind out an offense and get used to it. Whereas later in the year, like you see right here, like we're not really playing for anything at this point, so it's easy to do at this point, right? So here you see me throw that nice little shallow post route. That's one of the main staples of this. Like you have posts from everywhere. Literally every single receiver, there's a post route, and then even more importantly than that, they have the shallow post. So manning them up, like if he was to man up his safety, it wouldn't have mattered. Like he's just going to get cooked on that route anyway. So you pretty much have to just have a phenomenal user to slow this down or to bring a lot of pressure. And with the patch of the loop blitz by the defensive ends, this formation it just gets 10 times better because you're stuck sending corner blitzes and your routes are just too good. Like the corner blitzes really aren't going to play too much of a factor against this, especially not if you get your reads down, right? The one thing that I will say with when you run this scheme, you have to be able to you have to be okay taking your shallow routes. If you're the type that's always looking downfield, you'll run into some issues because, like my opponent's doing right here, right? He was in DB fire the last play, now he's in cover two press for whatever reason, but he literally has his clouds set to 25. And you saw, like, I just took my flat pass, picked up, 8 yards, 8 yards, something like that. Here, he tries to blitz the corner. The spacing's just, it's so hard to blitz. And you see we walk into the end zone there as well. We get another stop. This was pretty much a staple. If you saw the way this game went defensively for him, he was running tight, and he was running the RPO glitch. He was running bunch. Like, he knew what he was doing, but anytime he would try to throw the ball like downfield, we were just ready for it. So we end up getting the stop. He's back in DB Fire 2. We ran the ball there with the halfback power. I have yet to figure out exactly which run I like the most, whether it be the 5-6 trap or the power. I like the mid-draw a lot, honestly, too. Just kind of trying to figure out exactly how I want to blend this all together. But as you can see, just from running this one game play, right? I mean, I'm running, for the most part, one play up and down the field, and he doesn't have a clue how to stop it. I'm 14 of 16 passing, and really my one stop was a fumble. It was a fumble. So here you see we go back with the run. He blows this one up. Now he's been in cover 2. You see he's been in DB Fire 2, so we're actually going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go to the play tight end deep out. It's got the really good stock out route or stock fade to the right, which is just going to be a nice little cover 2 beater. You see he presses, he does everything he's supposed to do, and yeah, we just highball it over to Edelman over there. And we get down to the 2-yard line. And at this point, it's pretty much ball game. We're going to go ahead and run this in. So we're going to come out in the halfback counter at a trips tight end. He's going to, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. But we're just going to audible to the power O. We're going to ID the DT, make sure that guy doesn't shed us, and we walk into the end zone, right? And so we get another stop here, and you see we complete 88% of our passes, and we're going to walk up out of here with the dub.